What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get all 6 legendary armor sets in Horizon Forbidden West. Now there's a bit of story progression that needs to take place, however throughout the video I'll be showing you what you need to do and where you need to do it. Now if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, and remember we have giveaways here, one of which being a $100 gift card to the PlayStation Store. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on April 4th of this year. So the first legendary I'll be showing you today, as you can see in the screen, is the awesome Articipher armor. It is by far some of the best gear you can get pretty early on in the game. Now you do need a little bit of story progression, as I mentioned earlier, but once you clear the Barren Light main story quest, you should be good to go. Now at that point, you should have access to all of the areas you're going to need to reach in order to complete all of the salvage contracts, which is how you get the armor in the first place. So the first salvage contract is in Barren Light. The second location is a little bit northwest of the first one. You're going to be going to the Greenswell for that. After that, you're going to head south to Still Sands, and finally, my friends, the furthest one that is west is Raintrace. Now the thing is, you can do these in any order you like. However, I strongly recommend going from east to west, because keep in mind, as you progress towards that side of the map, you're going to encounter stronger enemies, and in regards to your actual level, as long as you're around level 30, you should be good to go. You can see here in the footage I'm at level 29. This is at the end of completing all of the side quests and all of the contracts. Now once that's done, you're going to go back to that first contract area, which is by Barren Light, and keep in mind it's going to be marked on your map as you progress through this, and once that's done you'll talk to a few characters, there'll be a cutscene, and once that's over you'll be given the armor as a reward. One thing I want to make sure I mention as we move on is a lot of you asked this in one of my previous videos. Difficulty does not matter when you're trying to pick up a legendary item. So you can pick this up on story mode or very hard. It does not matter, and regardless of the difficulty, the item is going to look exactly the same. And as I mentioned earlier, it really is a bit of a grind to get this thing. I mean, there happen to be a lot of contracts you need to complete, but it is without a doubt worth your time. So like I said, I recommend picking this thing up as quick as you can. Now the next 3 legendary pieces of armor are all found in the same location. You need to compete in arena challenges, and in order to actually gain access to that, you need to complete the main story missions, the Coal Route, and then opening the arena. Now once you've done that, you'll be able to compete, earn the medals, and then buy any of the legendary armor you want. Now you can earn up to 500 medals by doing these challenges. However, for the legendary armor, I think you only need about 162, so you should have no problem getting these whatsoever. Once again, as far as your level is concerned, as long as you're sitting at around 30 or 35, you should be good to go in regards to being able to pick up the 162 medals you're going to need to buy all of the legendary armor. Now, as you can see here, you'll be able to pick up the Nora Thunder Warrior, the Tanakh Vanquisher, and the Karja Stalker Elite, and all of which have really beneficial talents depending on what type of build you like to run with. Now, as I mentioned earlier, in regards to difficulty, it does not matter. It is not going to change the actual strength of the armor when you get it. It's not going to be upgraded anymore or anything like that. So if you happen to be struggling with the difficulty, feel free to drop it down to something you're more comfortable with. Finally, for the last 2 pieces of legendary armor, all you need to do is go to Thornmarsh and talk to the Stitcher. Now, these are just items you can actually purchase. However, there happen to be a few components that are a little bit tricky to get, so I'm going to walk you through on exactly where they're located and what you need to do to get them. You can see here the first piece of armor you can pick up is the Tanakh Tactician. You're going to need 2,000 metal shards, 1 Thunderjaw Circulator, and 1 Apex Slither Fang heart. And the second piece is the Utaru Winterweave, where you're going to need 2,000 more metal shards, 1 Tremor Tusk Circulator, and 1 Apex Dreadwing heart. Now for both of these pieces, circulators are pretty easy to come by. It's the Apex hearts that can be a little bit tricky. So we're going to start with the Slither Fang. You can see here on the map, this happens to be a great location. Now when you get here, you want to use your focus and scan the actual Slither Fang to make sure it's an actual Apex, not a regular one. Now the good news is if you get to this spot and it's not an Apex, you can then fast travel away, come back, just go back and forth until an Apex shows up. Now to be honest with you, probably took me about 15 attempts to finally get an Apex to show up. You can see it goes from daylight to nighttime, like it took me a minute for it to show up. However, for a lot of gamers out there, I've heard they've seen the Apex on their first attempt. Again, just keep coming to the spot over and over, keep farming. It will definitely show up. Once you take them out, you'll be able to finally get that armor, and again, it is definitely worth the grind. Finally, my friends, let's move on to the location of the Apex Dreadwing. Now, you will not see it on the map, however, it is definitely in the spot without a doubt. And to give you a point of reference, we are here at the Maw of the Arena. If you just go west, a little bit south, you will see this location. This is where you will find the Dreadwing. Now, as before, you may get to this spot and see a regular Dreadwing. Again, use your focus scan. However, this is where the Apex will show up. Once again, take them out, pick up the heart, go get the armor, and you are totally good to go, my friends. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your amazing support of this channel, especially with my Horizon Forbidden West content, and remind you, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, please let me know in the section down below. Like I said at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
What'd you do?